Could the reigning Eastern Conference champions be about to dismantle their roster? Are we witnessing the first cracks in what seemed like an impenetrable foundation? And what does this potential shakeup mean for teams desperately vying for a championship, like the Golden State Warriors? This isn't just about X's and O's. It's about the emotional roller coaster of franchise facing unforeseen circumstances, the brutal realities of the salary cap, and the desperate scramble of rivals to seize an advantage. Get ready, because the NBA offseason just got a whole lot more dramatic. The NBA landscape is a volatile beast, constantly shifting, and right now, all eyes are on the Boston Celtics, a team that just weeks ago seemed destined for a deep playoff run, now finds itself in an incredibly precarious position. The bombshell news of Jayson Tatum's season-ending injury has sent shockwaves through the league, forcing the Celtics front office to make some agonizing decisions. Their primary goal, we're hearing, is to avoid the dreaded second apron next season. For those not steeped in the arcane arts of NBA collective bargaining, the second apron is essentially a financial straitjacket, severely handicapping a team's ability to build and improve its roster, all while saddling them a monstrous luxury tax bill. In essence, the Celtics are facing a scenario where they could pay a fortune to not compete for a title. This financial predicament, coupled with Tatum's injury, has opened up a tantalizing, if somewhat heartbreaking, opportunity for other teams. The word on the street, and from reliable sources like Evan Sideri on X, is that the Celtics are very open to moving high-salary players. The prevailing thought among league executives is that Boston will even need to include draft capital in a trade to offload Kristaps' Porzingis' $30.7 million expiring contract. Let that sink in for a moment. A team that was a legitimate title contender might be willing to pay to get rid of one of its star players. This is where the Golden State Warriors, ever the shrewd operators, enter the conversation. Imagine this. Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, a championship-caliber trio with one last run in them. But for that run to truly materialize, the Warriors desperately need two things: perimeter shooting and a solid big man. Enter Kristaps Porzingis. The Latvian unicorn, as he's often called, is a 7'3" talent who can stretch the floor, protect the rim, and score in a variety of ways. Yes, he's had his share of injury concerns throughout his career. A gamble, no doubt. But if the Celtics are indeed willing to attach draft capital and lower the price to move him, it becomes an incredibly enticing proposition for the Warriors. It will allow them to address two critical needs in one fell swoop, potentially leaving them with additional assets to further bolster their roster. It's a classic high-risk, high-reward move, the kind that can define an offseason and potentially a championship season. But the Celtics situation doesn't stop with Porzingis. Another prominent name swirling in trade rumors is Jrue Holiday. While Holiday, who turns 35 next week, is past his prime, he's a two-time champion with an undeniable playoff pedigree and elite defensive skills. Matt Moore reports that the Celtics are setting the price at a first-round pick along with whatever reduced salary comes back in the deal. The challenge, however, lies in his contract. 3 years remaining, including a hefty $37.2 million player option for the 2027-28 season. This makes him a significant financial burden for any team acquiring him. And aside from the Brooklyn Nets, most teams would need to send back at least $22.5 million in salary to make the trade work. It's a complex puzzle, but for a team looking to take that crucial next step in contention, Holiday's defensive impact and veteran leadership could be invaluable. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the one that's causing tremors across the league. Giannis Antetokounmpo. The reigning MVP has been the subject of intense trade speculation since the Milwaukee Bucks playoff exit. While no one truly knows his intentions for next season, the mere possibility of him asking out has sent teams into a frenzy. And guess who was recently linked to the Greek freak? The Boston Celtics. However, NBA insider Chris Mannix offered a stern warning to Boston. You don't trade for Giannis, or you don't even try to trade for Giannis when you don't know the health status of Jayson Tatum. This perfectly encapsulates the current dilemma facing the Celtics. Making a monumental move for Antetokounmpo, especially with the uncertainty surrounding Tatum, could be a catastrophic misstep. Furthermore, it's highly unlikely the Bucks would be eager to send their franchise cornerstone to an Eastern Conference rival. Even if Giannis were to demand a trade, the Bucks, for their part, are clinging to hope that Antetokounmpo will remain in Milwaukee, believing they can still contend for titles with him at the helm. However, with Damian Lillard battling injuries, Milwaukee faces a tough road ahead. The question remains, can the organization convince Giannis to see things through, or will the allure of a new challenge, a fresh start, ultimately prove too strong? The stakes couldn't be higher for both the player and the franchise. So, what are the key takeaways from this tumultuous offseason drama? First, the injury to Jayson Tatum has fundamentally altered the trajectory of the Boston Celtics, forcing them into a financial tightrope walk that could lead to significant roster changes. Second, this creates a golden opportunity for savvy teams like the Golden State Warriors to acquire high-level talent at a potentially discounted price, a move that could redefine their championship aspirations. And finally, the Giannis Antetokounmpo trade speculation, while currently subdued by the Celtics' own internal issues, remains a simmering volcano that could erupt at any moment, sending shockwaves through the entire NBA. The coming weeks and months will be a whirlwind of trades, rumors, and strategic maneuvering. Will the Celtics opt for a temporary rebuild, shedding salary and accumulating draft picks, or will they try to navigate the storm and maintain their competitive window? Will the Warriors land a difference-maker in Porzingis and solidify their contender status? And will Giannis Antetokounmpo ultimately decide to stay put, or will he seek greener pastures, triggering the biggest trade saga of the decade? This isn't just a game. It's a high-stakes chess match where every decision has monumental consequences. We'll be here, bringing you every twist and turn, every jaw-dropping moment. What are your thoughts on the Celtics dilemma? Do you think the Warriors should go all in for Porzingis, even with his injury history? And where do you see Giannis Antetokounmpo playing next season? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more exclusive insights and breaking news. We're here to keep you on the edge of your seat, from tip-off to the final buzzer.